All right, we're ready to start. Hello, everyone. Good morning still. I'm here. We are here again for another Mumpreneurs Go Live. And I am this morning with Abba. Abba is first a mother of two. She has two children. One is 4 years old and one 6 years old, Ria and Aaron. And also, Abba is a professional, a digital communication professional, right? Yeah, digital professional communication, which recently quit her 9 to 5 job to build a business on emerging technologies that can help us work better and faster. And I like us to welcome Abba, who is gonna have a conversation today on emerging AI, and that's her focus to work better and faster. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dana. Very excited to be here.
Yes, welcome. All right, Abba, you reached out to me maybe last month, right? A few weeks back, and you said, Dana, I like to connect. I really like to help mompreneurs, to about AI. So tell me, what prompted you to come and say, raise your hand and say, I want to do something about the community.
I think because I'm doing so, when I was in my full time job, I started building a community also of moms who have career aspirations but also want to be present moms. And I started building this community. It's just through a newsletter, and I started writing about the challenges I was facing as a working mom. And as I was building this community and trying to figure out how to write a newsletter and how to work full time and how to be a mom and all of this, I started using a lot of tools to help me do things faster. And then I realized that, oh my God, there are so many amazing tools out there that us moms who are so time poor should be using so that we can save time doing a lot of tedious tasks and have time to do other things. So I started writing about this stuff in my newsletter. And I started seeing a lot of people very interested because one thing I read a lot about in my newsletter is productivity. And I think emerging technologies are really going to help us be more productive. So, because my audience is also working moms, and because I know about mompreneurs through Instagram, and because now I actually have time to build something of my own, I thought I must reach out to you because I have something to share with mompreneurs that might really help them, do their business better. Because a lot of, especially mompreneurs, when they're starting out, or maybe their business is small, they're early stage, it's really a one-man show. So if they can get tools that are cheap and easy to use, how much better can they work? And this really interested me to talk about, which is why I thought I'd approach you and see if I could help in any way.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. You are also our guest last week when we talk about AI in our networking event, and it was lovely seeing the interest what the attendants, the women have, and the questions like, how do I do this? How do I save time? How do I hire a VA? And you also mentioned earlier how all these things what we are looking for can be done with AI, like copywriting, creating. Right? Tell us, what is it
So
that you
pretty
don't use?
much, I mean, emerging technology is so great right now. Of course, it comes with its limitations, but it does a lot of the first drafts. Let's say if you want to do anything, just to get going and do the first draft of something takes a lot of time. So AI really helps you. So for example, it can help you very quickly write anything you want to write. It can help you very quickly come up with your own brand voice and brand messages. It can help you design your logo at the click of a finger. It can help you come up with your brand toolkit and quickly put it into place so you have some, a toolkit to use. If you're running your business on social media, it allows you to bulk create content, so you can literally create content for a month in a day. And now there are, of course, lots of tools that have already been out there that you can schedule everything. You can bulk design. So a lot of the tedious tasks that take a lot of manual work, especially when it comes to content creation, design, and just being more organized. AI tools are really helpful, and they're so easy to use. Like, you don't have to be a technical person to understand how to use them or try to use them. They're so intuitive, and usually they come with really good help guides. So it's just so easy. I mean, even like, I've just built my own website literally in one day on Squarespace. And that, because Squarespace now is so advanced with all its Web3 and emerging technology that it's using, including I couldn't believe that I made my website on my own in one day. And I will share the link for it soon on my social media. But when you see it, you probably won't believe that I did this myself, like one day at home. And this is the beauty of these tools.
I cannot believe you did your website in one day. I remember when
One
I
day.
started coaching 6 years ago, it took me 6 months to do the website. I didn't want to hire anyone. 6 months, and you did it in one day.
So Squarespace is amazing now. I actually was on WordPress before, and I was pulling my hair out with WordPress because the updates are not great. It's got great stuff, but it's still not user friendly. And I didn't want to spend too much time learning to build. I just don't have that time. And I'm like, I'm just going to experiment with Squarespace, and everything is drag and drop, literally drag, drop, push live. And
Well,
when you start doing this, you're like, you just, so when you try and use a new tool to complete a certain task and see it done in the minimum possible time, your mind just opens to possibility, right? It's like, what else can these tools do? And I think I think as working moms or moms who have interest in like building something of their own, we always feel it's very common for us to feel I don't have time to do that myself. I don't have time to learn this tool myself. When am I going to sit and learn this? It's all this overwhelm. And then if you try to go online and try to look for AI tools to use for this, AI tools there's so much information that it's very overwhelming. Where do you begin? How do you begin? Where do you start? So what I hope to do is, through what I'm learning for myself, is to help other moms who have small businesses, or are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, or just want to be more productive, just be able to do things better and faster with these tools. I want to help them see the potential that's at their fingertips that they just need to start using.
yeah. So let's go back, if we can move on to our title, right? We said we're gonna talk about embrace AR to work better and faster. How could someone embrace it? Because I
I
know
think
we have listeners here and they say, I want to know how to embrace it. What would you say about that?
so. The truth is, you just need to look at what task you have that takes the most amount of time in your day, and then Google it, and you'll find a tool that will, you'll 99.9% you will find a tool that will say it can help you reduce your time in that task. And then you just have to go, you have to allocate an hour of your day and say, I'm going to try this tool and I'm going to see if it helps. Of course, in the beginning, there's a learning curve. So maybe in the beginning, it's going to take you a little bit more time to figure out. But then once you've got it, over time, it saves so much time. So, for example, um, let's just say use ChatGPT, because everyone knows that tool and everybody is familiar with it and it's easily to access. Say you wanted to write an email to school because you're really upset with the number of students in your child's class, and you want to write a polite but concerned email to the principal of the school, for example. Crazy example. Now, this is something that you would have to spend some time to sit and write, right? Maybe an half an hour, 40 minutes to kind of say, what do you want to say? How can I say it politely? How can I put the right words? Everybody's not a natural writer. But if you brief that to ChatGPT, it will give you a really good draft in seconds. And then you just have to tweak it. It's a very simple example. And then you just have to tweak it and it's ready to go. So it's a really simple example of just taking something that you'll be like, oh, I have to sit and do this, and just try to get a tool to do it for you. In fact, a lot of people come to me and say, so how do I start? Where do I begin? What do I do? Because this is the challenge. If you don't apply the tools to achieve a certain task, you won't understand how it can help you. You can play with the tools, but it's still not going to take you from A to B, which is why recently I launched a course, which is a fun course to do, where you can actually, where I teach moms or parents or anybody who wants to learn how you can write, illustrate, design, and publish a children's book using AI in an hour. Now, when you think about that, since when could we do this in an hour? Like writing a book,
Really
it's
looking forward to that.
so I think and I've run this workshop a few times now, and what it's really helped is it's helped moms or anybody who wants to start their AI journey kind of get past the overwhelm and do something quickly and see the result.
Yeah,
And in the process, we play with ChatGPT, we play with Midjourney to do the images, we play with Canva to design the book, and then we publish it on Amazon.
yeah,
And like, who could do this in the past in 1 hour? You
yeah,
don't have to be a writer, you don't have to be a designer, you don't have to be have any skills, prior skills. You just have to be willing to play around a bit with the tools.
yeah. Great, great. And that we're gonna talk about this because you're gonna do this workshop for mompreneurs. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to create a book for my son and also learn how to do the other. You told me you do Midjourney. I watched it before, but never really use it. You talk about Canva. I start using AI on it. So it'll be great. What is it that you can do with it? In ChatGPT, I'm a daily user. I call it my best friend. Everyone who knows me knows that about me.
But what you could also do, for example, I don't know if you're doing this, sorry to interrupt you, in ChatGPT, you can customize it so that it knows who you are. So that when you give it prompts, it knows it when it answers you as if it knows you very well, rather than give you generic answers.
I
So so
Yeah,
many things you
that's
can do.
great. I'll Google how to do that, or you can tell me after. How can you do that, by the way? I'm
So
curious.
basically, there are two different ways to do it. One, you can either give it a very specific prompt, like I am Dana, and this is who I am, and this is what I
Yeah,
like, and this is what I did. This is the tone I like. Da, da, da. But that's quite painful to do every time. So there's something called custom instructions. And if you go to ChatGPT, you'll see in your settings, there's custom instructions. And there you can actually brief it who you
okay.
are, what you like, what you do, what writing tone you like, what you don't like, what you want ChatGPT to consider when it's answering you.
Yeah,
And then it will use that when it answers you.
yeah. Okay, great. I'll figure that out. I'll look for it. Thank you. I didn't know you can do that because I had the pain all the time writing the whole thing all over again. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Dana, founder, mompreneur, business coach, living in UAE, and like, oh my god, I have to do it again. Now, uh, it's based on the pain which I had when I started using ChatGPT, and I was amazed by what ChatGPT can do. It blew my mind on that. I really like the way it was written, very energetic and words which I'll never use, and really love it. Now, after a while, I start seeing that in others' writing, and I noticed when I was sending emails out, they were not, people will not respond as they respond before. And there is this the chat gpt sound, the sounds chat gpt. I think we already have a word for this. We made up, like, we have Google, let's Google it, let's Zoom. Chat gpt sounds chat gpt. So how can someone prevent to sound as chat gpt?
I think one is the custom instructions, because if you custom be very detailed, then it will process things a bit differently. But the truth is, it doesn't work without human intervention. Like, we
Mm,
have to remember that ChatGPT is just a, a large language model. It literally, think of it in very simplistic terms, it's an autocomplete. It's trained on billions and billions and billions of data. And when it answers you, it's just completing a sentence as it has learned to complete it from the internet. So of course it's very generic. Of course it's just a machine. It doesn't have your mind, it can't think for you. It doesn't really know how you feel. So you need whatever comes out from ChatGPT, you cannot use it as is. You
Oh,
really need to use it as your first draft, and
mm,
then you have to tweak it. And there'll be lots of words that you will read it and you'll be like, I will never use that word. Don't use it. And you're right, people are identifying that this is auto generated almost. And it's not nice when if you feel that a robot has written to you, you're going to be like, well, I can't be bothered to reply. Because so you really do have to put in the effort to make it a bit more original, and that needs to come from you. So
yeah.
that's the time. But rather than spending an hour doing it, you would probably spend 10 minutes.
Yeah. So this is on work faster. You still use it, but you just don't copy and paste because
Yeah,
you
you
said you
can't
don't
copy. I
put
don't
any.
think you can copy and paste. It's too bland. It's too, as you said, it's very, everyone will get very similar emails. People don't customize that much. Custom instructions do help. And it does change a little bit. You'll see the difference when it gives you back information. But you can also train it on your own writing, by the way. So you can take, for example, take 10 pieces of writing, emails that you've written, originally
Yeah.
written, without the use of a machine or without any help, and just feed it into ChatGPT. And then it will learn your style. So when it gives you something, it will try and make it similar to how you would write normally. So that helps. But again,
Yeah.
it's a learning.
It's a learning. That's great. That's great. Thank you. So we talk about embracing AI. How would you say to someone who is? I remember one of our members used the word technology adverse.
Yeah, so this is a myth, I think. And you just, I mean, if you think about it, nobody's technology averse anymore. Everybody has the internet at home, everybody has phones, everybody does everything on their phone. So you're not unless you're a digital free household, which I doubt because you really can't survive without your phone. Maybe you don't have the internet or a laptop at home, but you really can't do anything without a mobile phone. So I think you just like you've embraced just like you're using WhatsApp, you're using AI. So Microsoft, for example, has just invested $13 billion into OpenAI, right? The company that runs ChatGPT. So it's going to be in everything. It's going to be in Word. It's going to be in PowerPoint. It's going to be in Excel. It's going to be on everything that Microsoft touches. It's going to be on it. Google is competing. Everything that Google is doing is going to have AI. So you won't be able to escape it. So you're just, and I also feel that it's not difficult to use. So you don't have to feel that it's too hard. Back in the day, you didn't need a bit of coding knowledge, you needed a bit of technical skills, basic to be able to do some basic things, but not anymore. I mean, look, I made a website, I dragged and dropped a website. I mean, it's so if you want to use the tools to do anything better, you're going to just have to embrace them.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you. We have a comment here that said, I read an interesting article on this, that ChatGPT is the largest plagiarism, as it uses everything that everyone who uses it are pump it with info. It is not meant to and will never be able to replace human creativity. It's great for idea generation and getting your creative juicing flowing. I love it for this purpose.
100% agree. It will
Yeah.
never, and that's the thing. A lot of people ask me, oh, is it going to replace us and we're going to lose jobs? Yes, some jobs will be lost, but it cannot replace humans. Like ChatGPT can't think for us, it can't make new decisions, it doesn't understand subjectivity, it doesn't understand creativity. It's literally an autocomplete.
Yeah.
So it's great for ideation. It's great for doing things like tabulate this information for me. It's great for proofreading stuff. It's great for maybe you have a 30-page document. Sometimes you get a report to read. Don't want to read it. Or you want quick highlights. You can feed it to ChatGPT or give you a summary.
Mm,
So,
interesting.
yeah, 100%. As I said, the final product that comes of it is not great. You need to add the human element
Yeah.
to it. We need to add ourselves.
Thank you. I have a question for you. So we talk about faster is how you can save your time, right? By saying, give me a summary of this, do some brainstorming. That great. Now, and you also touch on some jobs people are feeling. Maybe my job was be obsolete. We had a meeting with our all things home, which are mothers with businesses and households related to households. So they are interior designers there, and at the moment they are AI that can generate a mood board. So they
Yes.
feel like, oh my God, this is what I do. So I they didn't say that, but what would you say for someone who is feeling, how can I make this? How what if they
I
was
think
feeling?
I think they need to use the tools. So, for example, if they took, so there's a great tool actually. I think it's called Interior AI. You take an empty room, give it a photo of an empty room, and it will actually design it for you like you want, and you can see what it's going to look like in 3D in like seconds. Now, of course, I understand that as an interior designer, might feel a bit threatened because maybe your business runs on 3D modeling of these homes. So, I mean, what I would say is get a great tool and work with it yourself so that you don't take 3 days or a week to give your client a mood board. You'll give it to them in seconds. But what AI won't be able to take away from that interior designer, for example, is their knowledge on how to implement and how to actually bring this to life. How do you choose the right furniture? Where do you get it from? How can I do the feng shui of my house? I don't know. So there are lots of other things they can spend time doing that a robot cannot take over. There's something really good I listened to lately, and it basically said the role of AI and emerging technology is to get it to do the lowest leveraged tasks. So, like the most tedious, time consuming, where you don't need to use your brain so much. Because, for example, when you're designing an interior, it's in your head, right? It's in your head. But to put it onto paper using whatever tools you use takes physical time to actually design it in whatever CAD, whatever old tools they are. It takes time. So now it's still in your head, but rather than using a tool that takes you a week to create it, you're just using a tool that's going to take you an hour to create it. So you've saved, you know, 5 days of work in just building this model that was in your head. You can use that time to do, you can scale your business. You can probably take on a lot more work because your team is not sitting and building these models. They're using a tool to do it. So
And
maybe those,
if I may add, you might be reduce your price as well, so you'll be more competitive.
exactly, exactly. You can reduce your prices and offer more premium services, which robots can't do. Stuff. So, because for example, the one-on-one time you spend with your client becomes very limited when it's just you or a small team. Now, and if you're heavily involved in the 3D modeling and all the blueprint work, but now if the blueprint work is being taken care of, you just have to oversee it, then you can actually sell more, do more business development, spend more time with the client, maybe offer to do more home visits. I don't know, but you can use your time. I think if you think AI is going to help you and you embrace it, you will find a million ways it can help you and you'll embrace it. But if you're of the mindset that this is just going to take my job and I don't know what to do, it will take your job and you won't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, they say that 85 million jobs will be lost to AI by 2025. But they
Wow.
also say that 97 million jobs will be, there will be 97 million jobs created also. So there's an extra 13 million jobs AI will create because what will happen is the way we do things is going to change. So we just have to change with it. Think about it, industrial revolution, the internet revolution. Everyone said our jobs are going to be lost. No one's going to have work. No, but new roles came, new jobs came, and the people that embraced these new roles and learned and upskilled, they've stayed in the market, you know. So
Thank
I
you.
don't think we need to worry about it.
All right, cool. Thank you. I was just looking at the time and we have 5 more minutes to from our call today. So here is you were mentioning earlier, and I said how excited I am about this workshop that will organize for mompreneurs on creating the book. So tell us more. Why someone would like to join this workshop?
So
I know I
basically,
want to because you told me before, but I like others to hear as well.
so this is the book that I created using AI in 1 hour. Uh, you'll see it's about 12 pages long, and it's a story of my son who's a pirate, and he goes on this adventure with his friends, and these are all his friends. They're actually friends from his class. It's the same names and all of that. And they find monsters, and then they go on this mission. They find treasure, and they get home. So this book is also available to buy on Amazon, and I created it in 1 hour. And the reason I teach people to do this is because it's not about just creating the book. Of course, it's a bonus that you can create a book for your child and publish it. It's your first digital product, but you'll be able to do this in such a short amount of time using three different tools. So it will get you started using the tools towards a goal. So you're not just spending hours aimlessly playing with tools. At the end of the workshop, you will know how to create this book on your own. And with the workshop, I will also provide access to my pre recorded tutorials, which they can follow. They can, of course, watch the replay, but they can also follow step by step exactly what they need to do in 90 minutes to create and publish this book. And my goal with the workshop is to open your mind to possibility. And I feel that an exercise like this is not only fun, it's something you can do with your child. My daughter's book I made with her because she had very clear ideas what she wanted in her story. So we sat down together and we made the characters together, and it was a great fun. So not only will you can do a fun activity with your kid or give your kid a really nice present, but you would have basically crossed the barrier of starting to use AI. Like one of the moms that did my course, I come back to interior design, she really enjoyed the mid journey part of it. So it's basically we do 5 minutes ChatGPT, 20 minutes mid journey, 20 minutes Canva, 5 minutes Amazon, and your book is done. It's incredible, right? So when she was playing with Midjourney, she wanted to get her kitchen remodeled. So she just asked Midjourney to come up with ideas for her kitchen, and now she's given it to a carpenter to do. So it would never have occurred to her to try using Midjourney to do it if she didn't do this course. So again, it's more than the book. It's really about just rolling up your sleeves and completing a task using AI, and realizing how quickly you can do things with the tool.
Thank you. Thank you, Abba. With this, we come to an end of our session today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for educate. We have here one user said great insights, Abba. That's amazing. Thank you. Any parting words? Anything you want to say before we go?
No, thank you for having me. I'm just really happy that I'm able to, just share the word that so much is possible today, and we just need to be willing to try. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's it.
Thank you. All right. Thank you
Thank you.
everyone for listening, and
Bye-bye.
we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.